This is Walter White. I'm kind of a fan of the guy. I'm so much of a fan, actually, that I even had my own Breaking Bad themed party before. I was born March 5th. This man was born on March 7th. What are the odds of that? March 5th and March 7th? It's something going on with the Pisces connection. It's not coincidence. This is a recap of season 1 and a little bit of season 2 of Breaking Bad. And there's so much to break down. I even got me a pen to help organize my notes. Just kidding. I don't fuck around like that. This is Walter White. He's a chemistry teacher. And after school, he works for Bogdan at the car wash. This is his wife, Skylar White, and their son, Walter Jr., who has cerebral palsy, but he also loves breakfast. It's not really relevant to the plot, but it just happens a lot. He eats a lot of breakfast. His life kind of sucks, He broke. His wife think he a loser. His brother-in-law think he's a loser. Even his son, even his own blood think he's a loser. And just to add some icing on the cake, this man got diagnosed with the big C. No, not chlamydia, that's you. Cancer. Our boy got lung cancer. He just be coughing. His own doctor told him he'll be dead in the next few months. They whole family is just poor, dirt poor, in debt, and got a damn dime to their name. They almost homeless at this point, right? And on top of everything, on top of Walt dying, on top of their son who already got cerebral palsy, Skylar is pregnant. As her husband is dying, she's pregnant. It really can't get no worse. It's at an all-time low, but his wife threw a party for him. I think it was for Walt's birthday, and Hank and Marie were at the party. Now Marie is Skylar's sister, and Marie loves the color purple. It's not really relevant to the plot either, but it just kind of bothers me a little bit. I think her coffee maker is even purple, and Hank is Marie's husband. Skylar White had a party and they all showed up. Hank happens to be a DEA agent, so he was like, man, these drug dealers making all this money off selling meth. And Walt was like, man, how much money, Hank? And Hank was like, man, hundreds of thousands, millions almost. And then Hank was like, hey, Walt, how about you come on a drug bust with me and just, chill? So next day, Walt and Hank and Steve Gomez, this is Hank's partner, they all three go out on a drug bust, right? For some reason, Walt is wearing a bulletproof vest. I don't know why, but he's in the car waiting. They both storm in. Boom! DEA coming in. And Walt is like, whoa, this is getting tense. From the rooftop, Walt notices one of his old students climb out the window. Walt is like, is that who I think it is? Jesse Pinkman climbs out the window, almost butt naked at this point, y'all. After the drug bust, Walt kind of has a new perspective on life. He kind of like, if I'm dying, I might as well go out with a bang. I'm not gonna leave my wife alone, broke, with 2 kids, a newborn at that, and a disabled son. Walt needs some fast money. He need a quick 100K. Walt tracks down Jesse and pulls up on him. How much money do you make, slanging meth? And Jesse was like, a lot of money, thousands. Jesse just spent all his money stupidly on drugs with this idiot. They all just do drugs all day. Just drugs. He is barely even plot relevant. He just do drugs. A junkie, as Walt would say. Walt is like, look, I know chemistry. Nah, I ain't saying I'm gonna sell drugs with you, but I'm just saying I could whip some up. I know the chemistry and you know the business. So why don't we team up and sell meth? On the low though, on the low. Jesse is like, yo, Mr. White, you want to sell drugs? All of a sudden you want to break bad? And so Walt is like, I need the money, Jesse. I'm dying of lung cancer. I have a pregnant wife at home and a son, right? So he's like, okay, I can't make it at home. I can't do it there. And Jesse is like, I ain't making it at my house either. After I just got drug busted, they decide, okay, let's get an RV. They drive out to the desert, drive out to no man's land. Walt makes something crazy. Jesse say this is the purest meth he's ever seen in his life. Yo, this is glass, Mr. White. Okay, yo, we gotta sell this because they finna get paid off that. Walt is like, sell this to somebody. Jesse is like, okay, I'm gonna sell this to this dude I know named Crazy 8. Jesse pull up on Crazy 8, and Crazy 8 is like, man, this is the best meth. All the drug addicts are all saying this is the best meth of all time, right? So they finna get paid off this, right? He like, man, you made this? He was like, nah, but I know somebody who did make it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's Walt who made it. Jesse is like, hey, have you heard from Emilio? And Emilio just got out of prison, I think after the drug bust. Crazy 8 is like, yeah, he actually right here. Emilio walked down the stairs, just mad. just mad. Look at him. Emilio is like, how'd you get your hands on that meth, Jesse? How'd you get that? Take us to the cook. We want the source. They all pull up on Walt. Boom, dum, dum, dum. Bass stomping, right? Walt is like, how could you let them find us? He like, yo, Mr. White, they held me at gunpoint. What's stopping us from putting a bullet in your head and taking all the meth you got? Ain't nothing stopping them. Lay them both out, take all their meth, and get the money from it, right? So Walt is like, look, I can teach y'all how to make this. They like, okay, cool. Teach us, and we gone. So Emilio, Crazy 8, and Walt all get in the RV, right? And Jesse is still sitting inside of their car being scary, right? Walt making his meth, and then he just, boom! Walt sprint out the RV and close the door, trapping them in the RV with all the chemistry smoke he just let out. They in there dying. They start shooting through the door. They like, boom, 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 boom. Shots start slowing down. Boom, boom. These two are dead. Dead in the RV. They like, look, let's get out of here and let's just be done with it and just go. But Walt start hearing sirens. He like, oh my God, no. And those sirens could easily be Hank. Hank could pull up and see all this and just be like, Walt, you out here making meth with the dudes I just busted and then killing 2 of them? Walt is like, I already got cancer. Jammed. Shit. This man tried to kill himself mid-operation, and turns out those sirens was an ambulance passing by. So Walt just almost killed himself for nothing. Now he like, right? So he looking stupid now, right? So Walt and Jesse get in the RV, and Walt is like, look, Jesse, this is too much. Let's just get rid of these bodies, skip all the meth, skip all the money. Let's just stop and let's just move on with our lives. I'm gonna have cancer, I'm gonna still teach. You can still do all the meth you want, but I'm done cooking it. It's wraps at this point. As they talking, they hear a body moving behind them. He is still alive. This man is still living. He's dead. He's X'd out, but he's still alive. And so, I'm really becoming Walt right now. They fly back home because this desert is cursed at this point. In the meantime, let's trap him in your basement and tie him up to this thing. Like his neck is like tied up to something. I'm like, whoa, this is getting intense. Walt is like, look, I don't want to kill him no more. I'm out of this. I don't want to kill him. Jesse is like, no. You drag us into this, so you got to do something about this. So they say, okay, stop panicking. Stop panicking, okay? Let's flip a coin. Jesse is like, my God, flip a coin. Whoever loses the coin flip has to kill him. They flip a coin, and Walt loses the coin flip. Walt got to end it all. So Walt give Jesse the task of getting rid of this body, but Walt made it easy for him. Just go out and buy a blue basket. I'll bring some acid and we can just dump acid on him. Walt needs this basket because it's a certain material that acid don't melt. Dump him in here and be done with him. Walt got the real job of the day. He got to really, handle something. They go home, go separate ways, whatever. Jesse cannot find his basket. He like, man, I can't find the basket, so I'm just use my tub. It sounds crazy when I say it out loud. And so Walt come over the house and then Walt is like, where's the basket at? Oh, I took care of it, Mr. White. Don't worry about it. I just put him in my bathtub and poured the acid on him. He's good. He's dead. You what? You put him in your tub? Jesse's floor is like dripping. It's dripping something. And it's melting the floor. So it's probably dripping the acid. All of a sudden, Jesse's floor just collapses. It just blows up. It just blows up. He's melted. He's dust. He's gone. It's a giant hole in his floor. They argue. He's like, how could you be so stupid, Jesse? How could you be so dumb? And Jesse is like, you still got a problem downstairs. You still got to handle Crazy 8. Jesse leaves the house. He like, you handle this. I'm stepping out. He better be dead. So Walt walked to the basement and he like, so what's your name? He being cool with him, y'all. He's sitting down with him and talking with him. Crazy 8 is like, talking to me is not gonna make killing me any easier. Just do the right thing and let me go. Being a nice guy he is, Walt brings him a bucket to shit in and some hand sanitizer. I'm gonna go think about it, but I want you to be okay down here. And so next day come, Jesse is like, did you do it? Still didn't do it yet. Jesse leave again. He say, look, this time I need him dead when I come back for real. In Walt head, he like, I'm doing it. He head downstairs. He talks to him again. He like, yeah, it's done. Walt head back upstairs. But instead of killing him, instead of murdering him, What does Walt do? What does Walt do? He makes him a fucking ham sandwich. A fucking sandwich. He giving him lunch. So Walt walk downstairs all sad with his ham sandwich like a pussy. As he get down steps, he walk in front of him. This man passes out. Plate shatters, his sandwich flying across the room. When he wakes up, he like, oh, I'm sorry about that. So Walt clean up all the mess and he go upstairs and he like put everything in the garbage and like he feels something off. So Walt opened the garbage can and he going through all the plate shards, right? Y'all, tell me why it's a piece of the plate missing. And you know who got it. I know who got it. Walt know who got it. Walt go back downstairs and he's smiling. He like, Walt, thank you for doing the right thing. So Walt go to unhook him. After I unhook you, are you gonna stab me with that plate shard in your pocket? Crazy 8 pulled the plate shard out his pocket and start trying to stab Walt. Walt got vicious. Walt put his foot up and start strangling Crazy 8 with this lock thing. And as he's doing that, Crazy 8 is stabbing this man's leg. I'm like, oh my God. Choke him out, dead man. Next day, they all settle down. Let's try this one more time. Let's make the meth. Let's sell it to somebody, right? And so they decide, okay, let's sell it to Tuco. Tuco is one of the highest drug lords in this whole world. Hank, he desperately want to find Tuco. He needs to find Tuco, honestly. But Walt is like, look, he can probably give us a lot of money for this pure meth. So Jesse pull up on Tuco, right? Jesse bring him the meth and Tuco like, oh, thanks, Jesse. And he beat down Jesse and take his meth. And so Jesse go back all beat up to Walt. Told you it was a bad idea, Mr. White. Walt is like, you went there, got beat up, and ain't bring nothing back. Nothing, no money back, ass whooped, pocket still low. Walt has to change. Now this is Heisenberg. Walt put that hat on and he head out. He head right for Tuco's base. I just sold you the purest meth on earth. And you gonna beat up my boy. So what you gonna do is you gonna buy my meth and then pay me extra for pain and suffering. Tuco is like, you're crazy. I'm not doing that shit. Fuck you. Walt bring another chemistry bomb with him. Boom! The whole wall explode. Everything's just blown up. Tuco like, you're crazy. And then Walt is like, I need double the pay. Tuco just hand Walt a bunch of money. They in business now. Even though they had to almost explode his whole base, they in business now. So now Tuco respects Walt now. Walt bring the money back to Jesse, and Jesse is like, wait, this money came from Tuco? And Walt is like, yeah. He has a family. He has to worry about his son, his wife, and his sister-in-law who loves color purple, and his brother-in-law who's a op. But he still loves his family, so he gotta do what he gotta do. Weeks go by and they dealing with Tuco and they realizing, okay, he's crazy. Tuco gets sick of them because he feel like they are planning on killing him, and they were. In the middle of the night, Jesse pulls up to Walt's house. Walt is like, Jesse, what are you doing here? I have a wife and kids here. Like, you can't be here. Jesse is like, Walt looking Jesse back seat, and Tuco is holding a gun at the back of Jesse's head. Oh my God. Get in. He got Walt and Jesse in the car in the middle of the night, leaving Skylar at home by herself. Walt is just gone. They putting up wanted posters, the same missing posters I had at my birthday. Crazy tie-in, crazy loop-in. Tuco bring them to his house. This is Tuco's Tio, and he cannot talk. He communicates via bell, right? Now this bell may look innocent. It really gets them fucked up because they see an old man and think, oh yeah, we can just plan around them. They sitting in Tuco's living room talking about poisoning Tuco, and the uncle is just listening. He mute, but he still can like hear them, right? Tuco is like, what? And the Walter's like, no. All we did was change the channel for his show, right? Jesse is like, yeah, that's all we did. All we did was just change the channel on his show. There was nothing crazy going on. He like, Theo, is that true? And he like, Theo, are they punking me? He like, bang! So Tuco dragged Jesse and Walt outside to finish the job with an AK. So he finna drill both of them. Walt tackles Tuco and pulls the AK from his hands. Tuco tackles Jesse and start wrestling with Jesse, right? Walt holding the AK and is aiming it at Tuco like, but Walt also don't want to hit Jesse. And Jesse getting beat. He getting beat. Boom, boom, boom. As Tuco is on top of Jesse, strangling him, Jesse reached in Tuco's back pocket and get a pistol and pop Tuco right in his stomach. Finally, right? So they leaving and Tuco is still alive. He's still living. And as they find out he's still living, somebody pulling up, right? And guess who it is? Hank, Walt's brother-in-law, who is a DEA agent, the same DEA agent who busted Jesse, is pulling up. He was hunting down Tuco this whole time too. So Walt gets so low. Walt is at the ground at this point. Walt is almost hiding at this point. Well, he is hiding. And Hank pull up and he like, Tuco, long time no see, huh? Hank and Tuco have a shootout, right? Hank ends up killing Tuco. Now Tuco out of here. While Hank is focused on Tuco, Walt and Jesse run. Now mind y'all, they still in the desert, okay? They just walking and they walking and they walking. And so they flag down this pickup truck filled with Mexicans. Walt hop in and Jesse get home as well. But Walt needs an excuse. He can't just say, oh, hey, wife, I've been selling drugs and this kidnapper who also sells drugs came and kidnapped me and your brother-in-law, Hank, almost pulled up and caught us again. He can't tell her that. So Walt does what any logical man would do. He strips down butt naked and walks in the grocery store. He walks in the grocery store and lets his nuts hang over the frozen food section. It may seem crazy, but that's the point. Y'all playing checkers, Walt always playing chess. And so Skylar, his wife, and Walter Jr., his son, both come to the hospital and he playing this amnesia game. Like, oh, I don't know what happened. Walter Jr. is like, you know, Uncle Hank was in the shootout? Walt was like, what? Hank got in the shootout? Well, is he all right? Chess. Walt is out the hospital now. So he meet up immediately with Jesse for a game plan. They agree on no contact for a little bit, okay? Don't look at me, don't call me, don't even breathe next to me. Skylar start getting suspicious. She like, you acting like you hiding something from me. He can't tell Skylar he sell drugs. She's stressing out. She's pregnant. Her belly is huge, like she's about to pop any day now at this point. Her husband is a liar and he has cancer. Now, what would any pregnant woman do, right? What would a pregnant woman do? She would pull over and smoke a cigarette. That's what she would do. I guess she felt like, you know what? Since Walt has lung cancer, let's give myself and the baby lung cancer. Walt actually finds out because she got sloppy and tried flushing her pack of cigarettes down the toilet. Walt is like, are these cigarettes? Skylar, you're pregnant. She like, I feel bad, but I was stressed out. Walt is like, this is so unlike you. And Skylar is like, unlike me. You don't even know me. Skylar just switching up. Like, she like, look, you not telling me nothing, I can do what I want to do. Now, for those who don't know, Walt and Jesse were cooking meth in the RV and Jesse's basement. Now, Jesse comes home only to find out his parents have found the meth lab in the basement. They say, hey, Jesse, get the fuck out. They own Jesse's house. They putting out couches, fridges, everything. Jesse is stressing out. Even though Walt and Jesse agreed on no contact, Jesse calls Walt's house phone. Yo, Mr. White, I'm being kicked out. Jesse is gonna be homeless in the next 5 minutes. As fast as they pulling out beds and shit, he say, look, Mr. White, I'm calling because I need some cash. And Walt is like, what part of no contact do you not understand? He can't even talk on the phone because Skylar is already suspicious. Jesse blowing the house phone down. So Walt rips the house phone out the socket. He like, we're done. So now Jesse is a broke boy. He decides to stay in a motel. So one random day, he in there chilling. Boom! Door get kicked down. And guess who it is? Hank and Steve Gomez, the DEA. They came for him. They came for your boy. Hank arrests Jesse, and now Jesse is being interrogated. He say, Jesse, when I killed Tuco, I seen your car there. I wonder what's that about? Jesse is like, I don't know. I was in the motel the whole time. You were in the motel the whole time. He's like, yes, that's what I'm telling you. Hank is like, let's ask somebody about that. Hank brings in Y'all know where this finna go. For those who don't know, this is Tuco's Tio. He was there when Walt and Jesse was getting kidnapped, all that. He's seen everything. He knows every detail of what happened. Can't stand Walt or Jesse. He hate both of them. Only catch is he can't talk. And the only way he communicates is through this bell. This bell may look innocent, y'all, but don't let it fool you. Jesse is like, look at him. He don't even know what planet he on. So Steve asks him, he say, Mr. Salamanca, are you on Mars? You don't ring that bell. Put this thing down. Are you on Saturn? Are you on Earth? Here we go. Mr. Salamanca, is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? Is it Monday? So he's all there. Hank and Steve ask him, was Jesse Pinkman at your house this weekend? Grandpa lean over towards Hank and start shitting his pants. He didn't snitch. Steve knew it. He was like, this is an OG thug. He ain't snitching, even though he hate Jesse and he hate Walt. He's still solid. Now they still don't got nothing on Jesse. Hank and Steve have to let Jesse go. Jesse is living in the RV now. He's still homeless, but not in jail. Back at the Walter White household, Walt is tired. He on the couch. He's like, Skylar, please, can we just talk? Skylar sit down with him. I've been a bad husband. I'm so sorry. You have to understand I'm dying. And so she like, look, I get it. You're dying. It's not easy. It's not easy for anybody. Everybody's stressed out. All you gotta do is just tell me what's been going on. I just wanna know. And then Walt say, tell you what. So Skylar pack her shit up again. Skylar, what do you want me to say? Tell you what? Tell you what? You still lying? How you gonna sit me down and still not tell me the truth? So Skylar get in her car. Walt chase her outside, bang on her window. Skylar, what? Tell you what, Skylar, what? Skylar say, yeah. But as Skylar backing out, Walt sees something. The RV parked outside of his house. Walt is like, I know this is not who I think it is. And who else is it other than our boy Jesse? And he bang on the door. He get in the RV. What are you doing outside of my house? And Jesse's like, look, Mr. White, I just need my half of the money. Walt is like, your half? There is no your half. It's only my all of it. Jesse is like, we're 50-50 partners, Mr. White. I've been meaning to ask you about that because what exactly do you do here? You're just a junkie, a drug addict. What if Skylar's seen you, huh? Jesse's like, I didn't think about that. You don't think. That's what you don't do. You're too stupid, Jesse. You're too stupid. You're just a dirty junkie, a drug addict. And Jesse pushed Walt head against the wall. And so they tussling. He's strangling the fuck out of Walt. He's like, Jesse finna hit him with a crazy hook to the face. And Walt talking about some, do it. Jesse's like, he didn't hit Walt. Because at the end of the day, it's still Mr. White. So now, humbled, Walt go in and grab Jesse half of the money. All it took was a little bit of an ass whooping and Walt giving Jesse his half of the money. So Jesse buys an apartment from Jane, who also happens to be a sobered up drug addict. Jane works for her dad, who really owns the whole apartments, right? Jane is like, do you have a job? How are you gonna pay for the apartment? And Jesse trying to sweet talk her, but she like Jesse, so she give him the apartment and some leeway. Make sure you paying me, and then my dad will be cool. So now Jesse beat up Walt, got his money, got a new girlfriend and an apartment. Jesse back on top. Walt is like, look, I got some bills due. Let's get back in business. Since Jesse has a new apartment, Walt and Jesse decide, okay, let's store all of the meth in there because it'll be safer than me having it. We need more money though. We need more money. We don't need just us doing it. We need a whole empire doing it. Walt trying to get in his bag Walt trying to get on his Jeff Bezos shit. He say, I need this shit global. He hires one of Jesse's friends named Badger, another drug addict. But since Badger absolutely sucks at selling drugs, he eventually gets caught by who? He gets caught by Hank and Steve. They like, who do you work for? Because I know you're not the main guy. Badger is like, some guy named Heisenberg, I don't know. Then Hank is like, Heisenberg, I knew it. Whoever the fuck Heisenberg is gonna get it. But little does Hank know, Heisenberg be at all the family cookouts. Heisenberg be on the grill. As Badger is gonna get locked up, how can we get him out? Jesse suggests, let's get a criminal lawyer. Let's not get any old criminal lawyer. Let's really get a criminal lawyer. And that's where we get introduced to Saul Goodman, an excellent con artist lawyer. He manages to get Badger out of jail. Now Walt is like, who is this? Who is this Saul? Walt asks Saul, hey, how could I get my business game up? Saul don't care. All Saul care about is money. He say, look, I'll tell you, but I need some of that, okay? Walt gives Saul some cash. Saul say, look, I know a guy. Meet this hypothetical guy at Los Pollos Hermanos, a restaurant. It's pretty much a Mexican Popeyes. Jesse and Walt is both waiting there like, where is this guy who's gonna bring our business up to a 10? Walt and Jesse both order some food from this random manager dude. Still, nobody showing up. Walt and Jesse end up leaving. Walt calls Saul, and he like, the dude wasn't there. I don't see no drug dealing people there. Then Saul is like, he was there. The next day, Walt goes back up there. Then he look at this dude again. Hey, sir, can I have some fried chicken and 5 minutes of your time? So this dude is like, okay, sure, I'll sit down with you. This is Gus Fring. Him and Walt sit down, and Walt is like, I think you're the guy I'm looking for. Saul told me that this dude was top notch, was quiet, he was careful. I think me and you are pretty similar that way. And he say, I don't think we're alike at all. I think you're actually sloppy. You brought in a junkie to a business meeting and he was high. He's high often, isn't he? And then Walt is like, he's my boy. Well, so we in business or what's up? And then Gus say, have a good day. And he get up and leave. So next day, Walt get a call from some guy, meet me at Los Pollos right now, or it's no deal ever in life. Time for business with the big boys. Some random man stop him and say, it's 38 pounds, 1.2 million, 1 hour. Walt is like, what? 1.2 million for 38 pounds, in or out. Walt agrees. Now mind you, Jesse and Jane are getting higher than they've ever gotten in their entire lives. They passed out and Walt is blowing his phone down. He's like, Jesse! Walt pull up to his place and he bang on the door. Jesse! 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 Jesse not answering. Walt beats the door down and he sees Jesse and Jane passed out. So Walt grabs the meth, and as Walt is grabbing the meth, he gets a call from Marie, Skylar's sister, and Marie says, Skylar is about to give birth. This really can't get no worse. Walt is like, what? She's about to give birth? Marie is like, where are you? I'm on my way right now. He's lying though. He's really on his way to bring meth to Gus. Jesse still passed out, packing it up. Walt manages to get the meth to Gus. He gets his 1.2 million. By the time Walt gets to the hospital, he's already missed the birth. He missed the birth of his child, all for a drug deal. Skylar is not really pressed right now because he's kind of happy with her baby. And actually, let's check this child's lungs because we got Miss Skylar White smoking like a chimney, put blame on both parents. When Jesse wakes up, he like, hey, I got all the calls. Where's my half? No. Walt is like, now you can leave me alone because there is no your half on this deal. And miss my daughter's birth is really mine. While you were out getting high with your junkie girlfriend, I was making money. Jesse throws some glass at Walt. And so they beefing again. Jane finds out Walt owed Jesse money, owe him $500,000 Plus, Jesse has told Jane the whole story. Walt is a drug dealer, chemistry teacher, brother-in-law is a DEA agent. Jane called Walt and is like, teacher turned drug dealer. How would that look on the news? Walt is like, you bitch. Fine. You take your money, I'll take mine, and let's never speak again. Let's stop all this. We're done. Walt, bring her the money. Jane and Jesse say, you know what? Fuck Walt. We are rich. Like, we can run away and go anywhere we want to go. Over 500K, they gone. Let's celebrate by getting high one last time. While that's happening, at the White household, everything's all happy. They got a brand new baby. Everything's all good at the White household until Skylar say, you know what, Walt? I want you out of the house. Walt is like, what? All that stuff from before, still valid now. You lying to me? All these games you playing with me? I want you out of the house. Walt life is in shambles. He like, oh my God. I'm gonna go say sorry to Jesse for calling his girlfriend a junkie and calling him a junkie. I'm gonna go say sorry. They're high as a kite, knocked out. And so Walt lets himself in. And what does he see? Jane choking on her own vomit. Walt is about to save her and he stops. He lets Jane die. He say, she's bad for business. She tried to take all my cash and my partner. Jane dies and Walt could have saved her. Jesse thinks that he did it. And they was getting high. He caused her death, not even knowing Walt was there and Walt could have stopped it. Her dad pulls up for to knock Jesse out. He losing his mind. If y'all know what happened with him, y'all know. And now Walt is staying in a motel because he don't live with his family no more. One day, Skylar pull up with the divorce papers. She said, we're done. One last chance. Tell me the truth. What's been going on with you, Walt? And he say, Skylar, what you want me to say? She say, you're a drug dealer. She's like, all those times you would leave the house, you would act all weird. It all finally clicked. You sell marijuana. I know it. It all makes sense after you told me you bought weed from Jesse. Walt is looking like, Walt, cocaine? Methamphetamine. Skylar is looking nauseous. She starts almost gagging. She like, just imagine that whole time your husband has been slanging meth. She's talking about some weed. Weed is what, level 1? So she like, look, I won't tell nobody. I won't tell Hank, who's a DEA agent, which means he catches drug dealers for a living. Just accept this divorce and leave me and our son alone. Walt is like, fine. Jesse, on the other hand, is still fucked up after Jane died. Jane is Jesse's girlfriend who choked on her own vomit from doing too many drugs. Jesse, he said, I'm going clean after that. So he went to rehab, got out, ain't been doing no drugs. He's clean. So of course, Walt needs some money. So who did he contact? Gus Fring, boss. He's the big man on top. Gus makes him an offer, $3 million for 3 months. Walt is like, how soon can I start? But the catch is this, Gus only wants Walt, not Jesse. Gus don't want to work with no junkies. Walt actually like, you know what? Fuck Jesse. Walt have a meeting with Jesse and he like, yeah, I'm in, you're out. Jesse's like, I'm out. Mr. White, we're 50-50. Walt is like, stop with that 50-50 shit. Jesse's like, you know what, fine. I'm gonna cook my own meth. Walt is like, it better be some other shit. This is my custom patented blue sky meth. This is my creation. So Jesse's like, you know what? Okay, stop me from making it. Gus gives Walt a new partner, Gail. Now Gail is my boy. Gail wouldn't hurt a fly. And he's actually educated and not on drugs. Got a master's in this shit, in chemistry. This is like Walt's wet dream. Like, oh my God. Finally somebody with some knowledge, with a damn brain. Gus gives Walt and Gail a super lab. Who needs an RV? Hank is on the hunt for Heisenberg. Now, if you don't know who Heisenberg is, look right here. That's Walt's alias. Now, Hank don't have a clue that Heisenberg is his boy Walt. Hank knows Jesse has something to do with Heisenberg. Hank ends up connecting the RV with Heisenberg. Hank is praying that Jesse can lead him to the RV. Hank is just sitting outside of his house. I know there's meth inside that RV. I know it is. I cannot leave. I have to be here when he goes to that RV. His wife Marie calls him. She's like, when are you coming home? You pretty much living in that car now outside Jesse's house. And he's like, I cannot come home right now until Jesse goes to the RV. Marie, she like, well, this may be a shot in the dark, but Skylar told me that Jesse sold Walt some weed before. So maybe Walt's seen an RV before. Hank calls Walt. Hey, Walt, don't mean to bother you. I know it's kind of stupid, but have you seen a beige RV? A what? Did you say a beige RV? May I ask why, Hank? Hank is like, well, long story, but I think this Jesse kid is making meth inside of an RV. I won't bore you with details, just, have you seen an RV? If he finds that RV, Walt's fingerprints are from top to bottom in this RV. So he like, haven't seen one. Hank is like, all right, cool. I'm sorry to bother you. Walt is scrambling now. The RV is currently in the shop getting fixed. So Walt calls Saul. Each time you say call Saul, you have to acknowledge it. How can we destroy an RV? It's huge. It's about from that wall to this one. So I can't just kind of tuck it under the fucking couch. Saul is like, do I look like the RV disposal people? Who do I look like? A fucking garbage man? You're useless. He drives to the place and he asks the man working on the RV, can this thing run? He like, yeah, it can run. And Badger is there. Badger is one of Jesse's friends, who's also one of Walt and Jesse's ex-drug dealing employees. Badger tells the car man, this is Heisenberg. And Walt is like, this is not no meet and greet. How can we get rid of this? The car man is like, I know a way. I can get it wiped off the earth. Badger is like, wait. This RV is how y'all cook the meth. We need the RV. Why are you still talking to me? Who are you? You're a bum. Walt drives off with the RV to the place. So, who does Badger call? Jesse. He tells Jesse Walt is trying to destroy the RV. Smart man Jesse. What does smart man Jesse do? Jesse sprints out of his house and gets in his car. And who was waiting outside Jesse's house? Our boy Hank. Hank is like, oh yeah, we got him. Jesse speeding off, not even knowing Hank is right behind him. Walt pulls up to this junkyard place. And this junkyard man is like, oh, this is nothing. I can destroy that in a second. I can smash it down to here. So Walt is inside the RV like, okay, cool. Jesse pull up. Jesse get in the RV like, Mr. White, what are you doing? It's our RV. Walt is like, you idiot. You led Hank right to us. And Lord and behold, Hank pulling up. So they quiet. Hank is like, I know you're in there. Come out, Pinkman. I don't know if this junkyard man was sent from Jesus, but he was like, I can't let you break into an RV without probable cause. Hank is like, this is a rolling meth lab. But fine. I'll get a warrant. I'll wait right here till they bring it to me. Not even knowing it's a 2-for-1 special. Walt is having a panic attack. He's like, okay, calm down. Jesse is like, how about we just back up and just run him over? Walt is like, stop it. I'm not killing Hank. So when in doubt, what do? You call Saul. They got a plan. Hank get a phone call from some random woman. Hey, is your wife Marie Schrader? Hank like, yeah, why? She's been in a tragic car accident. A car accident? How is she? I'm not sure of her condition, but she's in the ER right now. Well, Hank is like, Hank pull off. And the lady who called Hank was one of Saul's employees, pretending to be a hospital worker. Hank gone. Jesse and Walt is like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. They get out and they instantly start smashing this thing to nothing. They turn this thing to a box. Hank get in the hospital. Where is she? Where's my wife? Hank get another call. Hey babe, I was wondering, do you want lobster tonight or steak? Marie? She like, yeah. What? So you all good? You not dead? And she like, am I dead? No, I'm not dead. Hank realized he just got played. He pulled back up to the RV place. The RV ain't nowhere to be found. They done already smashed that RV to pieces. So Hank pull up to Jesse's house. Jesse's like, what do you want? Stop bothering me. You keep coming. Boom! Hank is just beating on Jesse. Hank is giving them haymakers. Jesse's face is like slammed shut. Hank still beating him. How did you know my phone number? Huh? How did you know my wife's name? Little do he know, they only got your number and the wife's name Because your brother-in-law was in the RV. Him getting beat is really Walt's fault, if we really being honest. But Jesse followed him. RV would be gone, it would be seamless if Jesse didn't trail him. So now, Rocky Balboa here is being like suspended from the police. Him making a prank call is not justified for you to go to his house and whoop his ass, okay? That's not how that works. Jesse is in the hospital. Walt and Saul visit him. Saul is like, Jesse, you should be smiling right now. This is how they don't arrest you. They beat you up for no reason. You're free. Jesse is like, no, I'm still gonna cook meth. Walt and Saul is like, that's a bad idea because they're gonna find you. And now they got a reason to beat you up because now you're selling meth. Jesse is like, no, they won't catch me. Because if they catch me, I'll give them the great Heisenberg. But Walt is like, why do I deal with you? So Walt is back cooking with Gail. He talking Walt ear off. Science and chemistry and the other elements. And Walt is just like, stop talking. Walt secretly ghetto. Like, he play like he loved all that math shit, but Walt secretly miss his boy. Walt calls Gus and is like, I don't think the whole Gail thing is working out. Gus is like, okay, well, who do you want? And Walt is like, I don't know. I think Jesse is a better fit for me. Gus is like, the junkie. I think that we have more experience together, and so it should be us. So Walt came to Jesse smiling like, Jesse, 3 million, 3 months. Jesse playing hard to get, talking about, no. Walt is like, you turning down $3 million? Are you stupid? I'm not turning down the money. I'm turning down you. And then a week later, him and Walt back in the lab. So they making the meth and some cash. Jesse end up in some beef with some of Gus' other drug dealing partners. Gus is like, Walt, Jesse is a problem. But Walt is like, no, he's not a problem. Mike is Gus's #1 guy, his right-hand man. But Mike goes to Walt and is like, look, Walter, I don't want to have to be that guy, but if we have to do what we have to do, it's not going to be a problem. If we got a you-know-what to you-know-who. Walt is like, Jesse's a good guy. Don't do that to Jesse. So they're giving Jesse chance after chance, and they just getting sick of Jesse. Gus asks Gail, how soon can you make Walt's blue meth by yourself? Gail is like, well, Walt is the master. I don't know if it'll be that soon because I have to master the different chemicals and different formulas and different. And Gus is just like, then Gail is like, you know what? Maybe 1 or 2 more cooks should do, yeah. Speed it up, Gail, because now Gus is getting tired of you too. He said, how soon can you cook the shit? And there's only one reason Gus would need Gail to master the meth. He would only need him to master it if he wasn't using Jesse or Walt anymore. Gus is big on business, so business cannot stop ever, no matter what. Walt knows in his head, Gus only needs one of them. Only needs one. Walt is like, if it's gonna be one of us, it's not gonna be him. Mike is like, hey Walter, there's a leak in the old super lab. Come pull up real quick and check it out. And you know ain't no damn leak in that lab. Walt pull up, scared. Mike, you don't have to do this. And Mike is like, yeah, I do. Go get that leak. Mike, please. I have a family, Mike. We all got families, Walt. Go get that leak. Walt, being the snitch he is like, I'll give you Jesse. I'll tell you where he is. Just let me live. Mike is like, okay, call him. Walt grabs his phone and calls Jesse. Hey, Jesse. Do it! Do it now! Mike is like, what the fuck was that? 927 apartment 6. Mike realized what he up to. He planning on killing Gail. Gail is in his apartment making tea, dancing, la-ta-ta, la-ta-too, la-ta-tee, la-ta-ta. Mike is blowing Gail's phone down, but Gail blasting his classical music. Gail get a knock at the door. Oh, I'll get that. Gail get the door, and who is it other than Jesse? So Gail is like, oh, hello, sir. How are you? Gail is like, I have money. Please. It's so fucked up. It's past money at this point. It's just about Walt living. Boom! Jesse shooting my boy Gail in the head, shot my boy in the dome. So Mike sends Victor to Gail's apartment. And you're probably asking yourself, who the fuck is Victor? I don't have him up here because he's so damn irrelevant. But just know he's one of Gus's employees. Jesse is still in his car, just grieving like, I just shot Gail. Victor goes to Jesse's car and is like, drive! Victor and Mike bring Walt and Jesse down to the lab. They all sitting inside the lab, and in walks the devil himself, Gus. It's a heavy feeling in the room, like he walking in on straight business. Walt pleading his case. He like, look, I know we killed Gail, and I'm sorry. Gail was a good man, but if I had to, I'd kill him tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. At this point, I'm looking at Walt sideways. I'm like, is he good? If it's me or Jesse versus Gail, it's always gonna be us. Every damn time. It's gonna get messy. So Gus put on this raincoat. Walt is like, look, you can't kill me, Gus, because you need me. And if you kill Jesse, you don't have me. Just let us cook. Then Victor is like, I seen him cook it. It's just a straight recipe. I know it by now. So Victor starts making the meth. I'm like, what is he doing? This bum, he can't cook the meth. This amateur knows nothing. And so Gus grabs a knife. Walt still pleading his case. Mike and Victor just smiling like, yeah, animal Gus. They all looking at Walt and Jesse. And Gus just sliced Victor's throat. Victor's on your side. What's going on? He just hold Victor there, having the blood gush all over Walt and Jesse. Just blood gushing, blood gushing. And the whole room is shook. Like, mind you, Gus hasn't even said any words yet. After he killed Victor, he throw his body in front of Walt and Jesse. Like, yeah, this could be y'all. So now Gus take off his raincoat, walk to a sink, puts his glasses back on, and then he looks at Walt and Jesse and says, well, get back to work. And just leaves, letting them know. So of course, Walt and Jesse, being smart now, they start back cooking. After all that, man, Gus might have got a yes massa out of me. I would have been scared for my life. I would have been just making all the meth he wanted. So next day, the White family and the Schraders are having dinner together, right? Hank pulls Walt and is like, I think I found my Heisenberg. Walt is like, oh, you did? Hank is like, I think my Heisenberg is Gail. I found the blue sky meth recipe in his apartment. And so of course, Walt can finally exhale. And Hank is like, something else had been really bothering me. Gail had this book, right? There's a note in there that says, to WW. I was thinking like, who could WW be? Woodrow Wilson, Willy Wonka, Walter White. Then Walt gonna say, you got me. Let me see that book. Ah, here it is. This is a poem from Walt Whitman. And Hank is like, Walt, you're a genius. How didn't I think of that? Walt Whitman. So next day, Hank asks Walt for a favor. He say, hey Walt, can you drive me to this Los Pollos place? Then Walt is like, oh, you want chicken, Hank? And then Hank is like, nah. Hear me out, Walt. I think this manager is a big time drug dealer. You see that car right there? I want you to put this on it. And Hank is holding a GPS tracker. Hank wants Walt to put a GPS tracker on Gus's car. He seems pretty good to me, Hank. I don't think we should be adding trackers on cars, right? As they talking about the plan, Mike pulls up next to their car. At this point, I'm shitting my pants as a viewer. This can't get no worse. Walt get out, fake ass it under Gus's car, and he goes inside of Los Pollos. And he goes and sees Gus, then he's like, I didn't do it, okay? Gus is like, do it. Walt is like, what? Do it. So Walt adds it under Gus's car. So Walt goes home and he acting kind of like shaky. Skylar sees this and then she like, Walt, if you ever feel like you're in danger, just stop all this. Be smart about this, Walt. Don't end up getting shot over this. And then Walt is like, Skylar, who do you think I am? You think I'm in danger? I am the danger, Skylar. You think somebody's gonna knock on my door and shoot me in the face, right? I knock on the door, Skylar. I'm the one knocking. So now Skylar is looking like, okay, who the fuck do I live with? When Skylar goes back to work, she finds out that her boss, Ted Beneke, is broke. She's also in love with Ted Beneke. Ted's not just broke, he's in the hole hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And so she's like, you know what, Ted, me and Walt have made some extra money. So Skylar offers to help and she gives him some of the money. Now Walt, honestly, is a little bit scared, okay? And Saul tells him, look, if you ever need to disappear, I have a guy for that. But Walt is like, you know what? I'm not disappearing. I'm handling business. Walt wants to kill Gus. So Walt creates something called a ricin cigarette. This ricin cigarette makes you just real sick. Add it to somebody food, they water, just something, and they just die naturally. So Walt gives it to Jesse. And this actually works out because Gus, Mike, and Jesse all go on some side mission. And on that side mission, Gus and Mike is like, you know what? I actually kind of fuck with Jesse a little bit. They actually like Jesse a lot more than they like Walt. And they learn that Jesse can make the blue meth by himself. And y'all know what that means. So Walt meets back up with Jesse, and Walt is like, what, did you poison him? Then Jesse's like, I didn't have a chance to. Walt is like, you didn't have a chance to? You've been with him all this time and you didn't have a chance to? And so, of course, they start fist fighting. Of course, Walt tells Jesse, be friends with Gus, okay? I hope you die in the desert. He is sick of this bipolar old man. Jesse gets a new girlfriend named Andrea. She has a son named Brock. And Jesse just loves both of them. He like, man, I'm a family man at this point. Walt gets asked for another favor from Hank. Hank asks Walt to drive him to the laundromat. And what's in the laundromat? The meth lab. So Walt is like, first you think the fried chicken man is a meth dealer. Now you think there's meth in the laundromat. I mean, Hank, come on, this sounds crazy. And Hank is like, look, Walt, I just know it, okay? Don't question me, just turn in. And the Walt is like, Walt misses the turn in. Walt, you missed the turn. Just make a U-turn. And so Walt is driving, he just, Walt drives into oncoming traffic and crashes the car. So that takes care of Hank for a little bit because he's in the goddamn hospital. Walt realizes that Jesse knows how to make the meth by himself. So he's like, let me go apologize to Jesse, because if Jesse hates me, Gus is gonna kill me in 5 minutes, right? So Walt goes to Jesse's house and Jesse is chilling with his new family, his new girlfriend and borderline stepson, okay? So Walt is like, Jesse, please help me. Then Jesse is like, no, you told me to go die in the desert, remember that? Help yourself. So Walt does the walk of shame out of his house. Out of nowhere, Walt gets kidnapped to the desert. And who's waiting for him there? Gus. And Gus tells him, your brother-in-law, Hank, is a problem. I'm gonna kill him. So if you get in my way, not only am I gonna kill Hank, I'm gonna kill your wife, your son, and your newborn daughter. Walt is stressed. He goes to Saul and is like, hey Saul, that whole disappearing thing, yeah, who's the guy for that again? Because me and my family are getting out of here. Now Saul tells him it's gonna take about $500K. Walt is like, look, Saul, I have the money, okay? I'm going, just tell me. And Saul is like, look, have the family packed and then call. This guy works quick. So Walt runs home. Walt runs to this little basement where he's hiding all this money. Walt is digging through the pile of money and it's looking a little short. He's like, where the fuck is this money in? So Skylar walks over and then she's like, Walt, what's going on? And he's like, Skylar, where's the money at? She's just like, Skylar, where is the money? She like, I gave it to Ted. You gave our money to Beneke? Walt just starts hysterically laughing like he's out of his mind. While Walt is absolutely at home stressed, Jesse, on the other hand, is at home with his stepson Brock. And Brock is getting real sick, like dying sick. Jesse is like, okay, that's not normal sick. Jesse is looking for that ricin cigarette because that cigarette can make you real sick. And he can't find it. He think that he done poisoned Brock. Brock is now in the hospital. So Jesse thinking back, I moved that cigarette. Nobody else knows about it other than Walt. Jesse pulls up to Walt's house. Why'd you do it? Walt is like, what are you talking about? Why did you poison Brock? Walt is like, who is Brock? You know Brock. You seen him. Don't act like you don't know Brock. You seen him in my house. You poisoned him to get back at me, right? Walt is like, look, Jesse, you know who did this. The one man trying to break us up. Gus didn't. You know Gus will do anything. Kids, adults, friends, family, anything. Jesse is like, you know what? You're right. How can we stop him? Walt is like, I have a plan. Walt gets the help of an old enemy. Tuco's T.O. This man finds a way to cause problems in every video. And you know he pulling up with this damn bell. Now mind y'all, Gus despises Hector. Gus goes to the nursing home to tell this man how much he hates him on his free time. Walt uses this to his advantage. Gus goes to visit Hector. He in there as usual, like, your family's dead, you're a rat, you're ugly. Then out of nowhere, he starts ringing that bell. Ding, 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 ding. So it's just ringing. Ding, 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 ding. And then Gus realized like what's going on. He like, no! Boom! Walt done turned this old man to a suicide bomber. Gus walk out the room and half this man's body is blown off. They just killed Gus Fring. Do you see how much shit falls apart after Gus leaves? This is a perfect visual how unbalanced shit is now after Gus just died. Mike finds out that Gus is dead. And he just killed who? Walt just killed Gus. So Walt, Jesse, and Mike, they end up becoming this drug dealing trio. They doing different missions and stuff. Mike and Jesse are like, Walt is officially out of his mind. He's crazy. So Mike and Jesse are planning their exit route. And while these two are stressing, Walt, on the other hand, is living his best life. He having a nice family barbecue with his family, chilling, dancing, having a good time. Hank goes to the bathroom, right? Y'all know every time on the toilet, y'all need something, a phone, something. So Hank looked behind him, he found a book. And this book is by Walt Whitman. He like, oh, okay, same dude Walt told me about. And on the first page, it's a letter that says, to my other favorite, WW, signed by GB. And whose initials are GB? Gail. Hank is like, all right, yeah, we gotta go. Me and Marie have to go home. As Hank and Marie are driving home, Hank crashes. He get out the car. So later that night, Walt realizes his Walt Whitman book is missing. And nobody else went to the bathroom other than Hank. Walt goes outside to his car because he has a hunch about something. He goes outside and looks under his car, and there is a GPS tracker under his car. And who else put a tracker there? Class, Hank again. What does Walt do? Next day, this man Walt pulls up to Hank's house. Hey Hank, I found this under my car. This is the same tracking device we put under Gus's car. Any reason for that? Hank slammed Walt to the garage door. You're Heisenberg. You drove into traffic to keep me from that laundry. Hank, my cancer's back. Hank doesn't give a fuck, Walt. I hope you rot. But Walt is like, even if all that is true, you know as a dying man, I'll never see a jail cell. Hank is like, I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who I'm talking to right now. And then Walt is like, well, if that's true, Hank, I suggest the best course of action is to tread lightly. This man's a demon. Everything around Walt is just crumbling down to nothing. Like he's losing everything, his family, his friends, everybody. As a safety precaution, he hides all his money underground in the desert. So Mike is like, look, Walter, I'm done. So Walt is like, you're done. How weak. You ruined everything, Walter. You and your ego. We had a good thing going with Fring, and your pride had to screw it all up. Mike gets in his car, and Walt goes to his. Walt walks back to the car and shoots Mike through the window. He just shot Mike. Mike tried to skirt off. He crashes, but Walt chasing him down. Mike is just sitting there. Walter, shut the fuck up. Let me die in peace. But now Walt has just killed my boy Mike. What's happening? This whole side even Gail. Everybody on this side is gone. Body after body after body after body. Jesse is just done. So he contacts Saul and asks him, how can I disappear? Now Saul tells him, look, you can disappear, but that weed in your pocket can't be there. Jesse is like, where's the guy at? So Jesse meet up with the guy and he checking his pockets and the weed is gone. How could the weed be gone? He think back. If they just took the weed out of my pocket, they could have easily grabbed the rice and cigarette. But Saul wouldn't grab it for Gus. Who would Saul grab it for? Jesse stormed back in Saul's office. Why'd you do it? Why'd you poison Rock? Then Saul is like, Walt made me do it. So Jesse pulled up to Walt's house. He started pouring gasoline all over Walt's house. And right as Jesse is gonna set fire to Walt's whole house, Hank pulls up. Jesse, I don't want to kill you. Put the lighter down. He poisoned Rock. He can't keep getting away with this. Walt's a bastard. I know. Help me take him down. So Hank and Jesse team up to take down Walt. Walt finds out Hank and Jesse teamed up. So Walt puts a hit on Jesse's head. He hires this man named Jack to kill Jesse. Jack is ruthless. Jack is cutthroat. He'll kill anybody. So they figure out Walt is hiding his money somewhere in the desert. So Jesse sends Walt a picture of a barrel of money inside the sand. Hey, Mr. White, I'm burning 10,000 for every minute you're not here. Come get your money, Mr. White. And if you even think about hanging up, I'm gonna burn all of this money. Walt get in his car. Jesse, don't hang up on me, Jesse. I'm still here, Jesse. Jesse, my cancer's back. Stop using that excuse. These people don't care no more, Walt. So Walt pulls up to the site where his money is underground. Jesse is nowhere to be found. All of a sudden, Jesse and Hank is pulling up. Walt then led them right to the money. Walt hides. He calls who? Jack. Jack, Jesse's here. I need him dead. Walt gives Jack the coordinates to where he at. Hank pull up is Hank, Jesse, and Steve Gomez. Steve Gomez is Hank's partner. Steve pulled up with the meanest look. Like he ain't never seen Walt a day in his fucking life. He say, where is he at? He ready to blow Walt head off clean. Walt comes out of hiding and they put Walt in cuffs. Hank caught Heisenberg. And right as they finna pull off with Walt, car after car after car after car after car pulls up. Jack and his gang done pulled up. They came with AKs, pistols. I mean, every gun they got, they brought. So Walt is in the back seat of Hank van like, Jack, no, Jack, no. Jack is over, Jack is over. He just shooting anything that's moving. His gang, if you're not ducking, you're dead. So they having a shootout. Bang, 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 bang. They're having a crazy shootout. Steve Gomez gets shot. My boy Steve. They even almost shot Walt. I mean, Walt had to duck in the back seat. Jesse is hiding somewhere. Our boy Hank gets shot. Jack is gonna finish the job. Jack, listen to me. I have $80 million buried underground. Take that. Spare his life, Jack, please. And Jack is like, what do you think, Fed? That a good deal? And his name is not Fed. His name is Hank. Then Jack is like, all right, Hank, should I let you go? Hank is like, the name is Asac Schrader. And you can go fuck yourself. Hank, please. Just take the deal, Hank. Take the deal. Then Hank is like, Walt, you're one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. Even you should know. He made up his mind 10 minutes ago. Do what you're gonna do. Jack kills Hank. Hank? Walt is like, Jack is like, so, how about that 80 million, Walt? Jack is stealing Walt's money. With nothing left to lose, Walt says, oh, by the way, there's Jesse Pinkman. Walt just giving everybody up. Jesse was hiding under a car and they grabbed Jesse, they grab him. And as they dragging off Jesse, Walt stop him. And he's like, oh, Jesse, by the way, I let Jane die. Jesse's whole body just goes limp. He like, and they drag Jesse off. So Walt goes home. Skyler, Walter Jr., go now, pack. And Skyler is like, I heard Hank had you in custody. How did you get out? Skyler, now is not the time. Go fucking pack. His son come out. Where's Uncle Hank? Son, look, go pack. Then Skyler is like, no, we're not going anywhere. So he started wrestling with Skyler. This man is wrestling over this knife. Let me go. Let me, no. His son pulls him off Skyler, and they looking at him like Walt is an absolute monster. So Walt grabs their newborn baby and leaves the house. Skyler is chasing them like, no, Walt, no, Walt. Walt holding the baby, reverses, backs up into Skyler's car and pulls off. Walt is out of his mind. He eventually returns the baby and he contacts Saul, and Walter White disappears. During this time, Jack makes Jesse his slave pretty much. Jesse making meth for him for months and months and months. But then Walter White comes back. Everybody got beards now. Everybody just look beat up and crazy. Walt pulls up with this automatic AK-47 car. Everybody getting shot up. Jack men, Jack gang, everybody gets shot up. Then Jack is like, so you came back for your money, huh? Well, if you kill me, you're not gonna get your money. Walt kills Jack the same way Jack killed Hank. Ain't no game for Walt. Walt AK-47 contraption even shoots himself. So Walt and Jesse just stare at each other and they nod. Jesse drives off. Walt is limping through all the lab equipment. We hear police pulling up too. Walt falls to the ground. And it's about 20 police surrounding him, but they're too late. Heisenberg, Walter White, got away in the end. That's my boy, till death. Walt? That is my Breaking Bad recap. But if you want more recaps like this, be sure you like, subscribe, do all different things down below. I love you, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Gone. Hank, my cancer's back. Hank doesn't give a fuck, Walt.